Okay, welcome back to the Fireburns Within channel. Another anniversary review video. This one is not too old, and it's pretty much a hated album in this band's discography. Yes, of course, I'm talking Morbid Angels, Illud, Divinum, Insanus, which is 10 years old, believe it or not. It was released June the 6th, 2011. So it's 2021, coming up to June the 6th. The album is 10 years old. Wow. And it's easily Morbid Angel's most hated, worst album. I mean, it's obvious. But anyway, for the purposes of this review, I listened to the whole thing. Every one single second of this. I had to listen to try to re-engage with this album, try to get something from this album, try to be positive, try to find the good in this album. And I really tried, I listened to every song. I tried to be fair. I tried to get something from the songs. Any scrap of goodness, I tried to note down and give a fair rating based on that. So anyway, let's go through each track. Some couple of instrumentals which I didn't rate, so I won't. Well, is it just the one instrumental? Maybe just the one, the opener. But that one I didn't give a rating to, so that one doesn't go in the final. So yeah, it's quite an epic intro. It's like entering the arena at Circus Maximus, ready to fight lions. It's called Omnipotence. It's the opening instrumental, but I didn't rate that one, so don't worry about that one. Track 2 is the first track proper. It's called Too Extreme! Exclamation mark. Sort of industrial sounding riff starts things off. Then we're off on a quite horrible ride. I mean, I really tried, but I'm looking for something I could get from this track, and I was really struggling. I mean, there's a sort of like a cool bit where David Vincent does his his vocals on that, which he done on early albums. I don't mind that. I like it when he does that, but the rest is just not good. It's horrible. It's sort of boring. It's just garbage, really. It's just not good. So I couldn't give anywhere near a decent rate for this. 1 out of 10 for that song. Track 3 is Existo Valgori. It's the first single, I think, from the album. But this song, it sounds really good. I really enjoyed it this time round. It's sort of catchy. It's got a nice riff. I like David Vincent's vocals on this song. Sort of, he sings much more understandable on this album, which I know some people don't like. They like it when he's very demonic sounding. But for me, I don't know. I like it when it's quite understandable. Not that the lyrics are anything great that I need to hear, but it just makes catchiness a little bit easier, or the singability is a little bit easier. The chorus on Existo Valgori is really catchy. I love the double kick drums. Quite a wacky solo from Trey. Only the production on this is quite murky. It's sort of not that clear, but I really did enjoy Existo Valgori. So from 1, I've gone to an 8 out of 10. So vast improvement on track 2. Track 4 is Blades of Bale, or Bale as David Vincent sings it. Double kick frenzy to start this one off. This one sounds like old school Morbid Angel. I mean, this reminds, some of it reminds me of Blessed Are the Sick era. Chorus is kind of cool. He just sort of repeats the line. Really like the riffs. Little bit boring in the slow middle section, but it's not a terrible tune by any means. I mean, it's an okay tune as far as this album is concerned. So 7 out of 10 for Blades of Bale, or Bale. Track 5 is I Am Morbid. This sort of like starts off with chanting, the crowd chanting Morbid, and then it sort of like goes into this slow groove with double kicks in the background. Sound is a bit weak sounding. It's not how I like it. The riff is sort of like just pedestrian. It's fairly boring. Chorus is just mundane. I mean, it doesn't do anything for me. You know, it basically sounds like a really average Marilyn Manson song. I mean, I don't even like Manson, so when I say average, I mean it just sounds like a pretty lame Marilyn Manson song. And, you know, it's not as terrible as Too Extreme though. I mean, I really hate that one. The solo in I Am Morbid is quite good as well. So yeah, I went to a 4 out of 10 for I Am Morbid. Track 6 is 10 More Dead. This starts off with a nice groove riff. I like the feel of it. This one sounds a bit more like classic, you know, the slower, sicker Morbid Angel. Quite like the chorus. It's sort of repetitive, you know, where he shouts 10 more dead, you know, or he keeps shout, you know, he says it over and over. It's quite a cool song, you know. Picks up pace in the middle. Overall, nothing to get too excited about, but compared to some of the industrial stuff, it's a solid song. So 7 out of 10 for 10 More Dead. Track 7 is Destructos versus the Earth / Attack. This is quite a long song, 7 minutes 15. This one was hard. This one was tough going. It's basically like the sequel to Too Extreme. I mean, it's hard to get through, but I got through every single second of it. The boredom, the marching beat over and over and over, like the industrial marching beat. Really struggled. Haven't got anything positive to say about that, but I listened to the last second. Again, I gave it a 1 out of 10, the same as Too Extreme. Just not something I can go through again, but I did for the purpose of this video. Track 8 is Nevermore. This track is old school Morbid Angel. I mean, it's slow, dirty riff starts this one off. Then you get blasting drums. Then you get a fairly cool riff starting off the song proper. Verses are, you know, fast double kicks behind them. David Vincent sounds almost like his old school vocals. Not he's going slightly more demonic and not so much sort of like understandable. Chorus is very catchy. You know, the way he sings it. I mean, I know he's only singing the one word, but it just sounds cool. This is probably my favourite song on the album. I like the pace changes in this track. A full album of music like this, and no one would be batting an eyelid. Everyone would be like, yeah, you know, Morbid Angel, killer. You know, awesome song, this one. Trey's solo is quite good on this one as well. So I rated it 8.5 out of 10 for Nevermore. So I'm happy with that track. Track 9 is Beauty Meets Beast. Starts off with like a rolling slow riff, Vincent barking. He's done that quite a few times on this album. And then the main verse starts off with the same mid-tempo. Song is just a bit boring on this one. I mean, it limps along without too much happening. Dirgy riffs, maintaining the same pace. The best part by far is the solo. I really do quite like the solo in the middle. It's pretty cool. But the song overall does very little for me, so just a 5 out of 10. Track 10 is Radicalt. Oh god, this one is just the biggest culprit. It's a disaster. I mean, you know, I just can't think of anything good to say about this. Lyrically, vocally, music wise, just a horrendous listen, and it's quite long as well. 7 minutes 37 of just unlistenable garbage, like just pure garbage. 0.5 out of 10 for this track, sadly. Track 11 is the last track on the album, Profundis - Mea Culpa. Starts off with David Vincent chanting, and then you get the spooky keys coming in. Then you get this sort of industrial sounding beats dropping in, and then the main song starts with slow pace during the verses. Then a techno sounding drum comes in, sort of like peppers the song. It's like a fast techno beat. It doesn't sound good. It really sounds horrible. I mean, David Vincent, he repeats the album title in this track, so you can hear where they got it from. He repeats the Illud, Divinum, Insanus. But this track is a horrible track. I mean, it's a chore to get through. I mean, it's not that long. It's 4 minutes 6, but maybe you thought they might go out in a blaze of glory, but it's not to be. I can't even give this a high. I can't give this any kind of rating. So it's a 0.5 out of 10 for the final track. So there we have it. 10 years on, I listened to Illud, Divinum, Insanus in its entirety. The industrial, the techno, the rough sounding parts are just horrendous. I mean, they're unlistenable for me. I mean, I'm not an industrial fan. And even if you were an industrial fan, this is sort of going to be so weak sounding for an industrial band that even if you liked industrial, you probably won't like those songs. Probably. But I'm sure somebody likes it. I mean, the comments are mainly negative when you go on YouTube and you check out Morbid Angel songs from this album. But there's some good songs on this. Like I mentioned, there's a couple of really good songs. Nevermore, Existo Valkyrie is good. Blades for Bale is okay. 10 More Dead is decent. It's about 4 good songs. So it's not a complete dead loss. David Vincent's vocals, again, I like them. I've heard people complain about them, but I like them in this album. I think they're pretty cool. The solos are quite cool from Trey. Not too bad. The drumming is okay when it's sort of more classic death metal. When it goes into that processed sort of techno-y, industrially clicky thing, then it doesn't sound good. The production on the whole is not too good. It's quite dirty, quite murky. So my rating for this, based on the average of my scores, is 4.25 out of 10. Now when I look at that rating, I think that might be even slightly generous, so easily rounding that down to a 4 out of 10. Someone else might even give it 3.5. I mean, people have been giving this 0 and 0.5 and 1 out of 10 and all this business, so even the good moments are quite bad for many people. But I'm fair. I quite like some of it. So 4.25 out of 10 for Illud, Divinum, Insanus on its 10th birthday. Okay, what do you think about this album? Till next time.